prepare for financial pain. Hey everybody, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. My name is JJ, and let's talk about the economy, the financial news, and prepare for economic pain and financial pain. That's not me saying that. I'm repeating that, so yes, I'm saying it, but that is the words from the Fed Chairman Jerome Powell in his recent speech. And this should be an eye-opener for a lot of people. Now you have the money guys and the main money guy, the one, the talking head anyway, of the money guy, of the money machine, out there saying prepare for financial pain, that they're going to do what it takes to bring down inflation. And he addressed how it could affect the job markets, the stock market. Of course, we know what's happening with the housing market, and they've acknowledged that also. So it's getting very interesting. Now, when I look at your comments on this channel, I see a lot of different opinions, and it's very broad. Some people say the economy is doing just fine. I'm doing better than ever. Most people, though, when it comes to your household budget, I'm not talking about the stock market, I'm talking about your personal financial situation, most people are not doing better. In fact, people are in the most debt now that they've ever been in their entire lives. 7 out of 10 people, by the way. We see debt forgiveness in some areas and not others. When people see debt being forgiven or erased, they start asking the question, okay, why not my car loan? Why can't we erase that? Why not my mortgage? Why can't we erase that, right? So it opens up all these debatable topics. And that's a good thing to talk about these things, but it's also kind of a distraction, because when you start just asking all these questions, it's good to ask questions, but it makes you take your eye off the ball, so to speak, in my opinion. What we need to do is continue to prepare. Yes, spread the word. Please share these videos, because economic hardship is coming for a lot of people. We have 20 million people in the United States. 1 out of every 6 households cannot pay their utility bill, or it wasn't paid on time. It's late. Now, maybe some of them caught up. Maybe there was a grace period and they paid it late. Maybe they got some late fee. Companies make a lot of money off late fees, including utility companies. And in some cases, if you go so far, they'll disconnect your utility. Then you'll have to pay a reconnect fee, which in some states is double your average monthly bill. So it's kind of like a deposit where, okay, now you couldn't pay your bill. Now you have to pay twice as much, pay 2 months ahead to try to avoid the risk of getting behind again. How many people can do that if they get shut off? How many people can pay 2 months when they couldn't pay their 1 month? They got behind on just their 1 month bill. Pretty scary times. And we're going to go through some recent news here in just a moment. But yes, when the economy is brought up, when the topic is brought up, when people talk about it, some people actually say the economy is doing better than ever. Let's give you one example. Someone that may say the economy is doing better than ever is the repo guy, the guy that repossesses cars, the tow truck driver. He's probably got a lot of work. He's probably making a lot of money. And it depends on how he has his life lined up, him or her. Maybe they're not doing good. Maybe they have a lot of debt. Maybe they bought a house and now they're house poor because 80% of their paycheck goes to the house, which is, a few years ago, that would have been unimaginable. But now, people, most of their paycheck, 50, 60, maybe even higher, goes to their house. And if it's not just their mortgage, it's just the upkeep of the house, all the other expenses that go along with home ownership. And that's why I've said that I will not buy right now in San Diego. That I would love to move up to a bigger house and maybe rent out my current house or sell it. I thought about selling it, but then where would I live? Rents are outrageous, skyrocketing right now. Sorry, there's a fly. There's a fly buzzing around. I think he wants my coffee. This fly wants my coffee. Let me just take a drink real quick. Because if it gets ruined, I'll be mad if the fly lands on it. I'll have to go wash it off. But times are hard right now. 20 million households, but that doesn't even tell you how many people. There's more than one person in the average household. So 20 million households, how many people are missing their monthly or late on their monthly utility bill? We could be talking about 40, 50 million people. But it's not just the United States. Problems emerging all over the world. Look what's happening over in Europe. European natural gas prices, 6 times higher than last year. 6 times higher. Imagine something that you have to pay for that's essential going up in price 6 times, right? So imagine whatever your gas price is now, multiply that by 6. Here in California, we're at about $5. That means we'll be paying $30 per gallon if it goes up by 6 times the amount. Even if you're paying $3 a gallon for gas, which is very rare now, $18 a gallon, 6 times the price. What is happening with natural gas, right? We have global economic breakdowns happening, and this has been ongoing since 2020. People said when the health crisis was behind us in the rear view mirror that everything was going to get back to normal. We're not going back to normal. We're headed deeper into crazy land, deeper into financial pain, as far as I can see, as far as all the evidence points. Speaking of electricity utility bills, the power grid collapse looms. Recent article here. Drought forcing drastic cuts in hydroelectric power generation. Folks, part of the power grid is hydroelectric power, and we see these lakes out here, these reservoirs, Lake Mead, Lake Powell, going into dead pool status, meaning they're not going to create electricity, and that's going to be a further burden on the electrical grid. It's going to cause prices to go higher. Many people are saying that, including the author of this article. So people that are expecting some deflation or the cost of living to fall, and you think that maybe some higher interest rates are going to make that happen, you better think again. There will be some corrections. The housing market already correcting. I think ultimately the automobile sector has to come down. These prices have to come down, and we're already seeing car lots, inventory start to rise ever so slightly, although prices haven't really dropped that much at all. But the cost of living, you think your utility bill is going to go down because of higher interest rates, you better think again. And a lot of people that are deep into housing debt, you better think twice about if you're going to sell or not, because when you look at the cost of maintaining that house, even your utility bill, everything else, insurance costs are skyrocketing. The prices are going up and not down. Some areas, yes. Most areas, cost of living not going down, unfortunately. UN officials warn food shortages are going from bad to worse. We see crop destruction here in the U.S., especially out west here. Again, with the drought, the water situation. Food prices, another thing. You think higher interest rates is going to make food prices go down? You better think again if you think that's going to happen. On a separate topic, household spending, entertainment spending. People are still spending. Get this. Disney is making record profits despite fewer visitors. So more people, because of all the debt, it has to be, more people say, hey, I can go without seeing Mickey Mouse for the day. I can go without going on a roller coaster. But the people that are still doing that, they're paying more. So with less people going to these parks, they're still making record profits. Absolutely insane how people choose to spend their money. I'm not criticizing anybody. If you want to go on a roller coaster, if you want to spend $500 to go to a ball game, go ahead. Look at me. If I look over the past year, I spent $2,000 on bunnies, right? But I didn't know it was going to cost that much. People still give me a hard time, by the way. The bunny video, I had to delete that because my wife saw the video and she's like, there's all kinds of bunny crap on the floor. Delete that video. And I deleted it. Some of you liked that video. Some of you didn't like it because you thought it was off topic. Actually, it's very on topic. When you're talking about money, the economy, spending, we all need to watch what we spend. And if you have a pet that's costing you thousands of dollars, but at the same time, pets are family, right? So if it was your family, if it was your son, your daughter, would you want to fix them if they had a medical issue? Well, part of it's vet bills, but long story. But yes, people are still spending money on entertainment, amusement parks. I'm not criticizing anybody. I live in California. All right, when it comes to spending money, we have some of the most expensive utilities out here, San Diego. Some of the most expensive housing, some of the most expensive gas, right? So who am I to call anyone, crazy for going on a roller coaster, right? So I'm not trying to criticize anybody. I'm just pointing it out. The price of eggs up 47%. Food costs continue to skyrocket. So folks, continue to prepare. It's not just me saying that anymore. So many other economic channels are talking about this. Back when I first started, it was just me and a handful of others that I saw that were talking about this kind of stuff. And there were more people calling me crazy, paranoid, doom and gloom back then than there is now, because people are seeing it for themselves. They're witnessing it. They're living it, right? It's not just me telling you this. They're living it. They're living the financial pain, and it's going to continue to get worse. But I think if we're on top of this, we're going to be ahead of the curve. We're going to be more well prepared than most. I still see this financial system going on for a bit longer. We have the BRICS nations out there. We have the BRICS nations out there looking to dethrone the US dollar. That is B is Brazil, Russia, India, C is China, and S is South Africa. And that is expanding. They're looking to dethrone the dollar. Expect more inflationary pressures because of that. Countries decoupling from the dollar and selling off, getting rid of their U.S. debt holdings. And that spells more doom for the dollar. Ultimately, I see hard assets at the end of all this, hard assets as the way to go. That's why the number one thing that I'm accumulating right now is silver. I get mine from SD Bullion, for those that are still asking. Link down below. Now's a great time. Sub $20 prices. The price is being artificially suppressed. And a lot of the banks that are suppressing this on the paper markets, they're trading the derivative to push the price down. They're doing naked shorting to push the price down, while at the same time accumulating the actual hard asset in the background. So why would a bank short the price lower but yet be accumulating the hard asset, right? So the paper price down but still buying the hard asset. Why would you want to buy an asset of something that you're suppressing the price on? That's because one day they're going to let it go and the price is going to fly. And that's going to happen, folks, in your and my lifetime. And I'm not talking about 30, 40, 50 years. I'm talking about in the next few years. Now, they can drop interest rates again. They can keep these bubbles inflated. They can reinflate the housing market if they drop mortgage rates, if they put another cancellation on foreclosures. Yes, they can do that. Do I think they will? No, because I think the inflationary pressures are too much now. People are seeing the inflation, and they're saying, hey, they're not doing anything. That's why they have to keep raising these interest rates, right? So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. It's a wild and wacky time right now. Crazy time to be alive, but it's interesting to say the least. Hope everybody's doing well. Keep stacking. Stay safe. Bye for now, everybody. Peace.